Hi guys, welcome back. It's Sunday the 15th of September and we're going to be discussing loot boxes, but before we get into that, our game of choice this week is Wing Commander 3 on the 3DO, and if you do enjoy this content then please consider subscribing and leaving me a big thumbs up because it really helps. Now, loot boxes, what does the UK government feel about them? Do you know what a loot box is, and is it a form of gambling? Let's get into this one.
Oh, and one last thing. Hobbs, you're on my wing for this one. Dismissed, and good luck.
Right, you don't know what a loot box is. It's also can be classed as a loot crate. And generally it was something that you would have found in-game after playing for extensive hours, and it would give you something. It's a little bit like finding treasure, if you like, but players would find maybe unique skins and costumes, and then the player can apply these to the character, weapons, armour, and make him more aesthetically pleasing. Now, the treasure chests are designed to offer the players a way to enhance their experience of playing the game, and the contents of the box can only be accessed through, as I've said, extensive hours of gameplay that can earn you points or paying a fee. Now, I'll have to use the example of Overwatch, and I still don't know if this is still the same case, whether or not they've changed it or not. You guys advise me more, but in the game Overwatch, players the chance to buy loot boxes in randomised bundles with prices starting from £1.50 for 2 loot boxes, going up to £30 for 50 boxes. But when a player purchases each bundle, they are not paying for the item within the box. Rather, the chance of getting something worth using in the game. The probability of players' loot boxes containing anything of actual value is not shown, so you've got no idea of what the odds of winning are. So, is loot boxes a form of gambling? Because that almost sounds like a game of chance, and the answer would be yes. So, the latest information is on the Parliament.uk website. Immersive and Addictive Technologies report has finally been published. And just to very quickly sum up, it calls to regulate video game loot boxes under gambling law and ban their sale to children among measures needed to protect players, say MPs. A lack of honesty and transparency reported among representatives of some games and social media companies in giving evidence. Now, it's quite extensive and I'll read bits of it out to you, but the committee's report, the wide-ranging report, calls upon games companies to accept the responsibility for addictive gaming disorders, protect their players from potential harm due to excessive playtime and spending, and along with social media companies, introduce a more effective age verification tools for users. Now, that's only a little snippet of that there. The chair's comments. Social media platforms on online games makers are locked in a relentless battle to capture even more of people's attention, time and money. The business models are built on this, but it's time for them to be more responsible in dealing with the harms these technologies can cause some users. Loot boxes are particularly lucrative for games companies, but come at a high cost, particularly from problem gamblers, while exposing children to potential harm. Buying a loot box is playing a game of chance, and it is high time the gambling laws caught up with the challenge of the government to explain why loot boxes should be exempt from the Gambling Act. To move on, regulate loot boxes under Gambling Act. Loot boxes mechanics were found to be integral to major game companies' revenues, with further evidence that they facilitated profits from problem gamblers. The report found current gambling legislation that excludes loot boxes because they do not meet the can't get me word out. The regulatory definition failed to adequately reflect people's real-world expenses of spending in games. Loot boxes that can be bought with real money and do not, reveal their contents in advance should be considered games of chance played for money's worth and regulated by the Gambling Act. Evidence from gamers highlighted the loot boxes mechanics in Electronic Arts FIFA series, with one gamer disclosing a spending of £1,000 a year. Jesus Christ. I'll move on to quickly long-term effects of gambling. Gaming disorders formerly designed by the World Health Organization should be included in independent research into the long-term effects of gaming in strategy developed by government and paid for in part by the industry levy. MPs consider the games industry has not sufficiently accepted responsibility for either understanding or preventing this harm and should contribute financially to research on potential harms associated with the products, as the gambling industry is already expected to. It just goes on and on and on. Gaming lacks protection for the vulnerable. Potential harms some in the in-game willfully abuse. Safeguarding your young players. I'll read this bit out. With 3/4 of those aged 5 to 15 playing online games, MPs expressed serious concern at the lack of an effective system to keep children of age-restricted platforms and games. Evidence received highlighted challenges with age verification and suggested that some companies are not enforcing age restrictions effectively. Now, I've just blitzed through that. There's a lot more in detail, but as you can see there, it does look as if loot boxes are going to be formed part of the UK's Gambling Act, and for that they will be banned to be sold to underage children. Now, as a parent, the parents have to take serious responsibility for a lot of this. If you are a laxy-daisy parent and you're going to allow your child to have free use of your credit card, then I'm sorry, you fucking deserve all you get, you really do. And if you allow your child to run up bills of thousands of pounds, you want your bumps feeling, you really do. You're an absolute idiot. So the parents have to take serious responsibility as well. But at the same time, yes, it is a form of gambling and children should be protected from it. For me, yeah, I've bought things before now, but I've not gone overboard. I've certainly not spent £100, let alone £1,000 a year on a game. God, I wait for games these days to drop in price before I buy them. I won't even buy them at full retail value because it's absolutely crazy. But it looks like the government has had enough, certainly in the UK, and a ban is going to come into force to sell loot boxes to kids. And as you've read there, some of these game developers, they're bloody shady. They really are. And they know they want that, you want that golden gun, you want that diamond-crusted weapon because it looks cool and it's the thing to have. Work for it. Don't go off spending your hard-earned cash on it because it's just ridiculous that you do so. But at the same time, I understand that people out there have a gambling problem. So what do you guys think about the UK putting a ban on this? I think it's about time, to be quite honest. I also think that the gaming companies do make a lot of money on us, a hell of a lot of money on us. Let's be honest, in times of recession, it was one of the few businesses out there that still made growth and a profit. So, they're squeezing you guys for everything. But at the same time, as a parent, you've got to take responsibility. I think that's where, in some cases, the majority of the problems are, certainly for younger gamers, because parents are not taking responsibility. For gamblers, there should be levies put in place to try and help you guys, because I know it's a form of addiction at times as well. Now, there's one thing that I haven't mentioned till now, because I really do think that this is basically a shady, shitty practice that the gaming industry has in place when they have loot boxes. I mean, we all saw how bad Battlefront 2 got absolutely slated and hammered for it. I'd rather pay for the game. There are games out there that are free to play. I play one myself, World of Warships. Absolute fantastic game. I've shown footage on it. But you don't have to spend anything if you don't want to. I'd rather pay for it. If that game was maybe £10, I would have gladly have paid £10 to play that game and not have to bloody buy any loot boxes, treasure chests, or whatever you want to call it. I'd rather spend money on buying the game than have these damn things. Just a little bit more food for thought there. So I'll be interested in your thoughts on this one, guys. Let me know your comments. Let me know your feelings in the comments below. What do you guys think? I'd like to thank you for watching and thank you for subscribing. I'll catch you all again. Take care.